Testing, testing. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And this video here, it's made because I got a jolt of inspiration. And I wanted to make this YouTube video here so that all of you can know what's going on. All my subscribers can leave the comments and let me know along my path. But what I want to do is I want to reinvent the Lego, the blocks, so to speak. I want to reinvent them. Yeah, and I know that's a big thing to say, but it's not really a big thing to grasp, given all that I've studied. You know, I've studied 3D printing. I know the ranges. I know what they're capable of to a degree. I know the softwares needed to mess with them. I don't know Fusion 360, but but I know I need to learn that. I know ZBrush. I know Maya. I've graduated at the Art Institute. You know, I've sketched out a few blueprints that I'm not really gonna share on this particular video. This video is to communicate with you all. If you all felt like I've felt, then you may be interested in this project as well. As you hear me speak through this project, you may decide you may want to become a Patreon, that you may want to support this channel and all future endeavors. I bring to you this project here on and tell you about it, but all of my projects will be funded through Patreon, and it will be through Patreon or through the YouTube comment section, or by giving it a thumbs up. You will communicate to me as a creator that you, people, viewers of Earth, are able to give your opinion without having to overwork. Some people feel like it's too much to give a comment. You know, some people feel like I'm a busy person, my time is valuable, that, you know, having to have a comment, having to help you so much through this process. You know, I want you to be able to just give a thumbs up to show your support. You know, I mean, of course I'll have ideas, and if I'm really gonna need some help, I'll put out a video that's attached to the project. Like this project, when I submit a project, I will title a project. Like, for example, this project, I'm thinking of calling this invention of mine, this branch off from a typical project. I mean, you know, people do it all the time. People knock off things all the time. And look at the computer. Are we all worried about who made the first computer, Mac or PC or Dell? You know, are we all worried about that, or are we all just knowing that each one is a computer and we all could use it? You know what I mean? I mean, essentially, I had a dream growing up. I loved Legos, and here's my story. Here's my passion. Here's my story. Growing up as a kid, I loved Legos. I loved drawing. I loved Legos. You know what I mean? Those were the two things that I really loved to do. And but one thing with the Legos, as I noticed, was that the characters, they were all boxy and clunky. You know what I mean? I always wanted tiny little thin figures, stick figures, if you will, slim, breakable. Even I would have preferred to have them breakable and small if I could have my imagination be satisfied with a more advanced design as far as the contours are concerned. So my first mission would be to keep the figure the same proportions. I'd want them to be the same proportions, maybe a little tinier than the little Lego guys. So if you can imagine how the Lego man looks, if you could buy a little Lego guy and put him in your hand and look at him and see how tall he is in your hand, I'd want him to be that. I'd want him to be that same height. But the way I'd want to design these Legos is I'd make it so that 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 they respect the shape of the people. Legos, they're like yellow Simpsons people that are like if you had a job at at some food place and they made you wear a suit of a man. When you put that suit on, you would look like a Lego character. That's how the Lego character look. He don't look like a normal character, like a stick character. He looks like a guy in a fat suit. And what I'm saying is that if you make you could really help the kid's imagination if you give them more better shapes. Like if you could disconnect a skinny arm and put on a normal arm, and then take off the normal arm and put on a buff arm, and take off the buff arm and put on a chicken wing or something like that. That may be something that could really expand storytelling for children and help their development. You know what I mean? These Legos. Another topic that I wanted to tackle is the fact that you can't make a car with the Legos. The one thing that kids love. You can't. When you had the Legos, you never had like you see this piece right here, this wheel. This wheel wasn't a big thing. This wheel wasn't a big thing, and everything you buy, you're not gonna always get a wheel. You're not always gonna get. The thing is, the thing that the Lego company still does to this day is that they lie to you. They tell your children. They say, "Hey, look, you can build anything with these Legos." But every time they have a new product, they showing your kids something that they can't make with the parts prior. They showing you some new invention with some new part that you just can't make with what you got, so you gotta beg your parents to spend more. And that's a business person who planned on praying for eternity. It's just a false marketing sense when you're like, okay, you got these Legos here, and we got this commercial here, and we are the people who gave you these Legos, telling you that you can make anything. But constantly, every time we talk to you, we are telling you, here's something that you can't make with what you got. And I'm just like, that defeats the whole purpose of designing the Legos. I am a designer. I've worked in ZBrush. I've studied 3D printing. I know that you could buy a 3D printer for, I just need, if I had the funds, with a Patreon account, I could help teach the world how to design their own Legos in Fusion 360, and how to 3D print them out on 3D printers that you could buy for $200 online. Just running some tests for my inventions and things like that. You know what I mean? And that brings us to the nature of this video I put on YouTube. And so if you support this Patreon channel, I will indeed use these funds for all of my channels, and through your passions and your through your likes and your subscribes and your comments, your, and through Patreon, we're gonna work together for like the rest of my life. I'll be like a pro at using Patreon. Right now, I don't know how to use it at all. I've just been engulfed in design here or there, or putting it here and revisiting ideas here and there, and just dealing with life in general and losing data and getting just inspiration here. It's just a beautiful process. I hope you all are having a fantastic day, by the way. And so, yeah, you know, it's these concepts here. It's these concepts here. What I want to invent, what I want to show you is I want to gain experience on how to use a 3D printer. I want to gain experience on how to use Fusion 360. I want to gain experience on how to invent and plan. And then I want to teach you how to do it on YouTube through my channel. And then I want to get good at it. And then I want to keep doing it and keep doing it. And then you guys will start telling me. You'll be like, hey, you should do this. Hey, you should do that. And then I'll release a brand new bundle pack that will include everything. And then week after week, you'll all upload and share examples that you've created through my projects and share with the world how your inventions can create anything without the need of having to buy and buy and buy. And together, I'll design and put up the tutorials online, just showing you all how to do it yourselves, but all the while being the one who invented it, being the one who shared it, being the one who put it out. And the difference between mine and the Legos is I wanted it to be cool. I wanted it to be like a cool marketing thing. Like what you're gonna buy is gonna be a big, huge miracle. You know what I mean? You're gonna be able to, it's gonna be in the shape of a treasure chest, of a pirate's treasure chest, and in that treasure chest you're gonna open it, or maybe it's gonna be in the shape of a suitcase like Pulp Fiction, and then you're gonna open it, and what's gonna be inside? Nothing but gold pixel blocks. And that's what I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be called Pixel Blocks, because it's gonna be through pixels that they're established. My designs are cubic in nature, and the character is a Lego guy, right? But the height and the system and the systematical structure of the Legos will build on top 6 by 3 blocks, cubes. 6 by 3 cubes will take to make a door that is suitable for the Lego character to walk through, which will be the exact same size as it'll be the exact same size as the door for the character to fit through. So in the Lego character, he'll be the same, but he'll be designed slimly. You know, it's like the difference. It's like me trying to describe to you, how does Iron Man look when he first made his Iron Man suit? When Iron Man first made his Iron Man suit, it was all gray. You remember that? It was all gray, and it looked like a Lego guy, basically. Now look at Avengers Infinity War with Thanos. Look at how he came now. And what I want to give to you all is basically a Tony Stark that has a silhouetted structure of a brand new Iron Man. That's like asking the new Iron Man from Avengers 2. I mean from Avengers Infinity War. That's like asking him, why don't you look like you did when you were the first one? Why don't you look like the Lego guy? And he'll be, and you know what he'll tell you? because it's the future. Because it was always the goal. It was always the intent to have such an existence. We merely improved upon our last. But I wanted when you bought this product, you're gonna buy like a suitcase. It's gonna look like Pulp Fiction, and when you open it up, maybe it'll have lights, and then it'll light up all the gold little Legos, and when you're building it, it'll look like a little bronze thing, like a little gold little thing. It'll be your precious, everything that you have. You'll be able to just, maybe you'll want to take them apart and maybe give them I don't know. Some people may paint these things or spray paint them, or and have them as statues that they don't bend around. Because if you spray paint something, you're probably not going to be able to move it unless you spray paint it and then move it in there. And even if you do, there's going to be some paint scraping, unless you know about spray paints that could bypass. Because when you're doing the 3D printing from the 3D printers, the key is the settings. You have to tweak the settings, and you also gotta put it on a it's basically a 3 by 3 millimeter distance in between the crevices of the meshes when you're planning on 3D printing them out. And it's by the millimeters by the it is the millimeters by the timing and the 3D printer settings. It's tweaking those and establishing those is getting your prime result. What you really want to do is you want to look up on YouTube how to tweak the settings for the best prints on the low budget computer 3D printers or stuff like that. I'm definitely gonna purchase and own like the best of the best 3D printers out there in the world, but that's probably like 50 years from now, you know what I mean? If I'm doing it on my own, but with Patreon account, I can tackle all of my projects, because this project right here, this Lego project, is not what I went to college for. It's not, but it can help me fund my projects along the way. You know what I mean? And who doesn't love Legos? And with all that I know, I could branch off projects to for all of my fans. Make movies of projects that I have and want to create, and fund those projects that I want personally through the Pixel Blocks. You understand? That's what I'll name this video. Pixel Blocks Project 01. And this is how I'll title my projects. And once I title them appropriately, what I'm gonna do is I'll put them in a YouTube playlist. And on that YouTube playlist, it'll have the title and structure system. I'll delete old videos, and maybe I'll put all my other old content videos in a section of past content. Maybe I'll have a section on my YouTube, because right now it's pretty much just out available as is, as you see it now. But once I handle what I got to do, then I'll put the past. I'll never forget where I came from. But at the same time, I'll also organize things for what you all deserve from me. You understand? You all deserve me to organize my projects and name my projects 01, 02, so you can follow through the development and the stages of these projects. And it is me reaching out to you all and saying that to make these Legos, to create these pixel blocks, to create these. You see, what I want to add to this entire thing is the joint system. They don't have ball joints, they don't have hinge joints, and they don't have the things that you would need to create an action figure for 3D printing. 3D printing, they address these issues, they address these things. But Legos, they have, what's the closest thing that Legos have to the Bionicles? That's the only reason why Legos is alive, striving today. That's the only reason why they didn't get crushed by all the knockoffs, by all the fake Lego brands that they had to compete against when with fake Lego this and fake Lego that. The only reason why they're still around now is through Bionicles. It's not because of the Star Wars Lego merchandise they got. It was rough there. It's not because of the Polly Pocket Legos. It's not because of those. It's because of Bionicles and the movies and the video games that they're having to increase. Look, you have to look at it now. How many Lego video games are there? Like 3 to 1 movie, aren't there? They are in the technology so much. They're not even making new Lego characters. When was the last time they designed a new Lego guy? They don't want to design a new Lego guy. Heck, if you look at the system, they didn't even want to make gray Legos because the kids would be able to make tanks out of them. And they said they didn't want to make tanks for life. And now you got yourself a company here that's raising the entire world. And they say they don't want to make tanks for life. Now, how does that make you feel about the people who invented tanks? How does that make you feel about the enthusiasts who's in our militaries, who's in our navies, who has passions of these models, of these designs? That's all they are, is designs and means. And if you look at a gun, what is it? But it's a means, and it's an opportunity. It's a device. It's a tool that need be respected. And it is these things that we ought to be teaching our children, that they need to have respect for these things, not that we should fear these things. Although fear is another means of respect, in a sense, one would choose fear of a respect over fear. You understand? One does not want the environment to be in disarray or in shambles, but at the same time, we must mature as a collective together. And to do that, we can't shy away from topics that we are strong enough to overcome. If a kid, we always market these cell phones out. But if somebody lost their cell phone and then a youngin had access to all this mind-blowing technology, who knows what could happen. But nobody ever makes a movie off of that. You know what I mean? You never know. It's just all these possibilities, all this inspiration. Like, somebody could just make a movie off of that right there. I wouldn't even be mad if they took it. I wouldn't even be mad if they made a movie off of that. You know why? Because we all just trying to heal each other with the way we spend our time. We all want to create things, invent things, so we could share things and be happy and heal each other so they happy too. We all want to be cool, and we all pretty much think Legos are cool, right? And but the thing about it is, Legos don't have ball joints. Legos don't have many different mathematical solvents. Like, if you wanted to make an action figure, how articulate could you do it with the pieces provided in this illustration here? Or what about this one? This one right here, these illustrations here, they come through the cars and all those things, and the electronics and the mechanics and all those accessories to Legos, and these functionalities here, they've come through the mundane, basic, essential structure of the Legos. But what we don't see these things, they have little holes in it right there. That's good, because they had the little poles. They got holes and they got the poles. That's cool. You know, you stick them in the hose and the wheels. You got the cars, you got the hose, you got the poles. You already knows. You know, and, but essentially, they you couldn't make a Lego character out of these blocks. They'd be stiff statues, and that's the opposite of being able to make anything you want. You know, just having that simple limitation. They have the Bionicle characters. Oh yeah, those Bionicle characters have those ball joints there. We all know it. But they don't have a Lego part that connects to a Lego, to a ball joint, to a Lego. And because they don't have that simple mathematical thing, because they don't have that, no one can make their own action figures. What I want to do is I want to make a ball joint of different sizes. I would make a ball joint that's like for what you would use for a tiny action figure, and then what you would use for something maybe 2 times bigger, and then maybe it may be something 4 times bigger as a final resolve. But giving you these mathematical solutions in your inventions, you will be able to open up a brand new world of opportunities, like being able to create a building structural system for wires. Like, let's say somebody wanted to make a house out of sticks. Let's see them try it with these pieces here. They'd be there all day trying to collect all the pieces needed to make a stick house out of plastic. They just wouldn't have enough. They just wouldn't have enough to make a plastic house out of sticks. Isn't that sad? All you need is like a long stick and a tiny little old knot that could connect the pole. A long pole, a connecting pole. A long pole, a connecting pole. That's all you need. And do we have it here? No. Does Lego sell you long sticks with connecting parts? No. So now you can't even make dimensional shapes in physical space. You gotta stick to building blocks. Because it's not about creating depth. It's not about inventing. It's not about creating space. It's about building block on top of block on top of block on top of block. So they have these stiff little characters. But I am an inventor. I've used ZBrush. I've done digital sculpting. I plan on using virtual reality software like Oculus Medium. And I plan on using hardwares that are $5,000. That's if I know that virtual reality hardwares can be supported with desktops that are $2,000. But if I'm gonna be a teacher to you all, if I'm gonna be able to master these things, I can't teach someone who has these greater tools than I have. Do you want to watch a YouTube tutorial from a guy who has lagging and crashes every 5 minutes? I don't. You know, you guys don't deserve that. You guys don't deserve a video where that crashes and just takes your time. And I don't deserve having to redo a video because I wasn't properly supported, so that I can finally provide you with a content that is not just stupidly slow and crashing, because that's what it would be of now. The technology I have, it's just, I need this Patreon support to fund these projects, and I make this video here to in hopes to convey you in a way that will help you see the mind behind the opportunity here for us all. And and it is in my intent to service the community and to work with the community on a lifetime basis through Pixel Blocks and all of Jonathan Gillette's various fundings. And you can support my channel. You can support my YouTube channel. You can like and subscribe and ring that bell notification icon. But please, if you want to support this cause and all other videos I announce, these videos will be ordered and updated 01_02_03. You will be able to know always how far these newer projects are coming, and they will be ordered, and it will be awesome. And so if you want to support this channel, these funds, just give this video here a like. Let me know that you support the cause. You know, just if you're feeling friendly and you're feeling kind, you can say, keep up the good work. I'm glad this is a good idea. I loved Legos as a kid, me too. You know, but I can't really make a Dragon Ball Z character out of Legos if I really wanted to. You know, I gotta hand it to you there, John. I can't really do that. But maybe if we work together and you have a 3D printer at home, maybe you could use Fusion 360 and design a few parts to make it possible to do such a thing. I don't know. Maybe you could make a YouTube video with all the parts that you already have existing, just teaching everyone how to make Goku with Pixel Blocks, how to make Pikachu with Pixel Blocks, how to make Thanos with Pixel Blocks, how to make Rocket Raccoon with Pixel Blocks. You know, and all of these things will be possibilities. There'll be possibilities that when I make a new tutorial, you won't have to. You can go to my website and you can figure out all you need to know to get your hands on Pixel Blocks. That's how it'll be set up for us. That's how we'll do it. And through the videos, you'll probably make suggestions, or you'll upload things yourselves, and maybe I'll make thank you videos for all of your passionate projects that you shared with the world. Just sharing my appreciation for the existence of this culmination of inventions by all of our inspired minds, so that we would be so loving to share with each other these beautiful things. It'll be a beautiful community experience. It'll be grand to do such things. I need to take off the stress. I need better things. I need my computer not to crash. I need to be able to work on my other projects, and then be able to work on this one and be a well-rounded, powerful influence. I grew up in this reality, and I had desires when I used these Legos, limitations that my mind found that were never addressed. These limitations are a hindrance to my creativity, and I do not want it to be a hindrance for my brethren in this reality. But I did not want it to be a hindrance. I want to say no more. I want to usher us into a new form of creativity where we can all be expressive. And we're in a world where you want to be an inventor, and all you have to do is buy Pixel Blocks, and then you can design something that you could essentially buy clay and then just clay on top of it. And then even if it's a little bulky, even if it's a little imperfect, it's still a pervious mesh you could use. You could always use a blowtorch and melt the plastic and then continue to sculpt on it. You know, these things you could use and build upon these ideas. But how many times could you build, like, you couldn't really do that with Legos because they don't have this stick connecting system. You see, you have certain other building blocks that scientists use. They create entire spheres out of sticks and tiny little points, sticks and points. and they make entire spheres out of that. Now, how could you make a sphere out of Legos? By going bankrupt. You go bankrupt. But how much would it cost to print out a lot of plastic little toothpicks? Plastic little balls that you could connect to these toothpicks. How much would it cost? It wouldn't cost much, but you'd be able to invent so many things. It's a tool. It'll be Pixel blocks. Yeah, you could use it for toys, but it's a tool for the mind. It's a tool for communication. It's a tool for clarity. When you need to hire somebody to do something, but you don't know how to draw, but you play with Legos, what you want to use, if Legos don't get it done for you easily, you want to use Pixel blocks. When you want to give somebody a gift that could take them far, that can expand their mind at a low price, giving them everything they really need, bundled all together in one little token. Where you gonna go? Pixel blocks. When you got somebody you love and you want to make an impact, and you telling them that you heard of a good idea, and you know they good enough to shine with it in their grasp. You know, if you gave them the Thanos glove, they'll make good from it. What you need. Boom. It's what I'm trying to give you is what we didn't have. What we got now. What we didn't have from the Lego people. We didn't have somebody like me who's willing to talk to you and give you little Lego, your little humanoid Lego character a sword, or maybe an axe, or maybe a staff, and then upload it online, and then have everyone around the world download it, and then 3D print it, and then give their little Lego character a little axe and a little magical staff. Who wouldn't want that? If we still more invested into this project, we could create, because my inventions are like, I made them like stick figures. So they got holes in their heart and they got holes in the middle of their face. What you'd be able to do is you'd be able to have a little mask, poke it in right there. It's a source of identification. You got a thing on the chest, you poke it in right there, you could give the character boobs. Or you poke it through the back, you give them wings. You poke it through you could take the arms off and put arms on that got armor on them. You could put on arms that are bended, arms that are straight, arms that are crooked, arms that are whips or something. Who knows? But we will be able to add all of that to our library that we will have available online. Maybe you can have a monthly subscription and you'll have access to all of these things. Or maybe I'll just have it all available in the brand new update of the software. We'll have new ideas. We'll have new things that we'll want to add to these Legos to expand, because my mind is not the totality of this expansion. The existence of this expansion and the existence of this message itself tells you that 50 years from now or 100 years from now, there'll be so much more built on this concept. But it's this concept is what will be used, like how Akira is used to inspire everyone. You understand? It's the boldness of taking such strides. It's like, if you look at Legos, what have they done? They tried to sue the other people who created the mechanical, but then they supported them and the children in the schools. You can see all the history that I'm drawing from through the Netflix Legos Toys That Made Us series. But essentially, you know, essentially the building blocks, the Lego characters, they'll be the same as your just to touch bases. They'll be the same as the normal size Lego guys. I drew it out on this paper here. You can hear it there. Yeah, but the door will stand one head above the characters themselves. That way, if they have a helmet that you can 3D print and put on, if they do have that, then you could essentially. I mean, I want to use 3D printing because 3D printing is a thing that's good for everyone. You know, pixel blocks. It should be an inventional gift. It should be an inventional gift because I have so many avenues, so many ways, and there could be so many ways to build upon this structure. But I have to do it in a manner in which it's complete in the first attempt, and then to build upon that is to add throughout the span of eternity to slowly satisfy and quench the needs of the many. And once I have all the hardware I need, I'll be able to real time, once you guys help me get on my feet and so I'm not struggling, I'll be able to use the hardware to show you all how to use Fusion 360, how to create these inventions and how to 3D print them without any trial, without any error or problem. I'll be able to walk you through it and talk you through it and get you through it, but I gotta study it first so you don't have your time wasted. You know what I mean? I'm making you all this video here with me so that I can hope that you can understand my business proposition to you all and asking you all to invest in me. Go to www.patreon.com/Jonathan Gillette. That is my name. You can get with this program. But essentially, the one other note I want to make is that these building blocks, they may be 6 feet stacked to make the door and 3 feet stacked wide to make the door, 3 by 6 to make the door. But these shapes could be cubes. We can also replace these connecting blocks with cylinders. We can also connect them with tubes, with spheres, you know. So a young child would be able to connect different shapes together with these different connecting blocks, essentially being able to build up these different shapes, and maybe we'll have different curves and different for different means of mathematical solutions. But essentially, the thing about Legos is they're kind of like, I know they're 3-dimensional, but they're so 2-dimensional in their design. It's just like top and right underneath where it sits. That's all there is. There's nothing more to it. Now sometimes you got connecting things, but that's it. And I realized that when I watched that documentary on Netflix. I realized that. And so I got this piece of paper that I have right here yesterday, and I designed a new Lego. I heard them talking about they designed their own Lego, so I designed my own Lego. Cubic in nature. But that cubic nature expanded to other shapes just to make the nature a whole multitude of universes. You could build something entirely in one shape and then have the accessories to go with it. But then you could change that base shape to a different base shape, and then the entire same structure would be completely different, yet the same. And it is these different flavors that has these possibilities. You can make one half one thing and one half the other thing, or whatever the fuck you want to do. I mean, whatever you really want to do. Excuse me there. Excuse me there. But yeah. Maybe I should cut that little part off. Anyway, I will. I'll cut that part off. You can't put that on YouTube, you know. Anyway, and there's some work there for me. Good. Let me just touch that right there and then let it rest. A blooper. Anyway, thank you all for your time. That's the general idea of Pixel Blocks. Once again, this video will be on my YouTube channel in the playlist. I'll assign it in the playlist. I'll make sure it's in the playlist once I have another update to provide you all with. But as the video as it is, there's no need for me to rush into a playlist thing, because I will be making more announcements about more projects that I would love for you to stick around and subscribe and ring that bell notification icon to get more updates on. This channel here, it's going to be quite extreme, and I want you all to get excited, because we're not going to be pulling any punches, yo. We're going to be tackling this good, and I hope you all are excited to support the channel and to help us just make a maximum impact on the world. And thank you all, and have an extreme day. Thank you.